Oh, thank you. Doris?
Yes.
Okay, it's your segment here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Doris Garrett, and I am with UPAO. I'm the treasurer. This morning, it's about Nicole Scott-HARRIS. Nicole Scott-HARRIS is a registered dietitian nutritionist. She is a graduate of Rutgers University, where she earned a BA in African American Studies and Sociology, a MA in Political Science, and was a graduate fellow with Egerton Institute of Politics. She also holds a BS in Nutrition and Food Science from Montclair State University. In 2016, she was a recipient of the Rising Star Award from New Jersey Work Environment Council. And a class of 2016 senior fellow with the Environment Leadership Program. She has been an active member of the League of Women Voters of New Jersey since 2014 and served on their board of directors 2019 to 2020. With over a decade of experience in public engagement and education, she specialized in educating adolescents to adults on a variety of sustainability-related topics, such as food justice and food literacy. Thank you.
Okay, Nicole?
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so my name is Nicole Scott-HARRIS. I have a business called EcoEmpress Nutrition, Yoga, and Wellness. This is a business concept that I developed to bring together my passions in environmental education, environmental advocacy, environmental justice advocacy, my sustainability, just oriented value system that I live my personal life, my interest in holistic healing in the realm of yoga and using natural methods to heal the body, and then also my expertise in nutrition and using food as a healing source as well. So just introducing the concept of my business, I have taught courses to Derek has helped me to actually as a guest instructor for Rutgers Future Scholars for their after school and summer enrichment program, teaching them environmental literacy. So I've done it for community members and adults in the city of Newark, and also for the Rutgers environmental stewardship program. So I've taught environmental literacy classes, like the bio said, from adolescents to adults primarily. Currently, right now, I'm contracted with also an organization called Jump Kids Health that is based in East Orange for the time being. She intends to have more locations. And in the summer program, we actually have programming in Union as well as East Orange. So Jump Kids Health is a double Dutch focused recreational program that also encompasses kids' holistic health. So they have summer camps in the summertime and after school programs during the school year, and also double Dutch team. With that also comes that I am the lead nutritionist there, consulting for this organization. And I'm doing one-on-one nutrition counseling with the children there, and also doing group nutrition classes. And what else? Eventually I'll be incorporating some yoga into that too. Hopefully, definitely with the double Dutch jumpers, because yoga can help all athletes. A lot of football players are doing yoga and Pilates now to increase their flexibility. So yoga is something that a lot of athletes can benefit from. Jump Kids also, what I wanted to say, Jump Kids is a holistic children's health clinic. They have mental health services there for kids. There is a affiliated pediatrician, and I'm there as a registered dietitian nutritionist. Then during after school, obviously there's homework, help, things of that nature. So Layla Little, who started it, is her intention is to take this organization not just all over New Jersey, but all over the world. And I foresee it happening. She also intends to take many of her jumpers to the Olympics soon, because double Dutch is supposed to become an Olympic competitive sport. So it's an exciting time to be affiliated with this organization, even though it's in a very semi-early stages. I think she started around 3 years ago, but it's still obviously it's a growing organization. So with that said, I'm going to begin my formal presentation and share my screen. So first and foremost, I want to say, if it's not already clear, I am a person oriented towards holistic wellness. I am a person who is interested in natural healing remedies. I'm a person who encourages that the most. So if people see any of this advice, please consult it with your physician before you do anything. This is general information for educational purposes. And my orientation of thinking is that it's not a default that you have to have prescription bottles in your life. These are things that you can get rid of, and this is not things that we always had around. So that's the first thing I want to say. So you see, I added holistic best practices. I didn't tell Carla that, but
Hey, Nicole,
yes.
is the screen supposed to be white?
No, it's not showing you.
No, it's not.
Oh my God. I'm looking at it and I don't understand why it's, let me go back out.
I thought you were just giving us.
I think you may have selected whiteboard.
Yeah.
You may have selected whiteboard instead
Okay.
of.
So I gotta redo it. Let me do it
Yep.
again. Share. Sorry.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, so this is correct. Okay, so the first thing I want to begin talking about is this is basic information everybody talked about, but like mindful hand hygiene. This is important, obviously, and it has nothing to do with per se this pandemic. This is just winter wellness in general. There's always been viruses around and colds around during the winter time. So we have to be mindful of proper hand washing techniques, including rubbing your hands together for like 20 seconds, making sure you're cleaning under your nails and around the nail bed and around the cuticle and things of that nature, especially if you're going to be preparing food or getting ready to eat any handheld foods. You definitely want to be mindful of this. And then also, I think fear is not a good thing to have in the body. So it's important to understand and not necessarily be operating from like a OCD or germophobic standpoint, but how viruses actually live on surfaces and how long they live there, and the things you really, really have to be worried about. So this, interestingly enough to me, the scariest thing that we're supposed to be dealing with every day is these face masks, which a lot of people are reusing. And it says the viruses live on there for 7 days. So that's very concerning to me in general, because so many people are not are we using face masks, and are even using them, I would say overusing them, in cars by themselves with them on, just walking around outside. So alone. And I'm of the mindset that you want to have them on as little as possible. I mean, use your own judgment in terms of when you go into spaces and having them on. But if you're outside, if you're alone, if you're at home, you want to be able to have full access to your respiratory system. So that is something that I just wanted to share. So moisturizing and hydration is also something that we have to be very concerned about as we come into the winter, as it relates to our skin, our hair, but also definitely our body. Like our body is mostly water. Water is what helps keep the body properly lubricated on the inside and the outside. Water is what helps to make sure the body is flushing out toxins. If you don't have enough water in your body, and there are toxins that need to leave your body via usually sweat or urine or feces, then you may not be able to clear those toxins as completely or as regularly if you're not properly hydrated. And obviously, we know winter weather can cause various types of dryness, just the cold and the air. So we want to be cognizant of our lips staying moisturized, our skin staying moisturized, our hair staying in what we consider to be protective styles and being properly moisturized, as these are all things that could potentially become compromised as a result of winter weather. And if people have things like diabetes, you definitely want to be mindful of keeping your skin moisturized, or you're pre-diabetic even, because you don't want to create any unnecessary open wounds in places that you may not be paying attention to that could potentially worsen. So I'm a big advocate of using herbal teas to bring in natural herbs and plants into the body. So these are 3 that I think are most beneficial at this time. Everybody, the one to the furthest right is elderberry, and with this most recent health crises, a lot of people have become more knowledgeable about elderberry. So see, elderberry is something that you can ingest as a tea. It doesn't necessarily have to be a syrup or any kind of a capsule or anything like that. This is something you can have every day to help strengthen your immune system. Cinnamon, the same. Cinnamon is great for anti-inflammation. And ginger tea. I have had some fresh ginger tea. I mean, I have some friend who makes it really well. I make it sometimes myself, but even I like to get the ginger crystals that you can often find in a lot of grocery stores. That's one of the things I like to do. I see somebody's put something in the chat. Is there any questions? Let me see. Oh, somebody told me about their tea. Okay. Yeah. So so tea is a great thing. I have a family member who has an autoimmune condition and actually is a smoker, but she drinks a lot of tea, and I believe because of her regular tea intake, that's a part of what is really helping her to stay healthy as she is, despite the fact that she has these other coexisting health issues. So I think tea is a great thing. Anytime you sit down to have a warm drink is also an opportunity for stillness and kind of like being in the present and slowing down. And you can't really run with a cup of tea or be moving all over the place. So it's a thing that is good for us in general in terms of learning how to just take time for ourselves and disconnect and just be present. What else I want to say about this? So yeah, obviously these things can all improve your immune system. So I'm a big advocate of taking baths in general, just for self-care and for de-stressing, and that's definitely something that you want to be doing at this time. baths help with body aches. Depending on what you put in it, it can also, you know, serve as some kind of detoxification for the body. It can help with having a more restful night's sleep. It can help with any aches or pains. It can help with keeping the skin moisturized. Baths are just a great thing just to do overall. It's also an opportunity to cultivate some stillness and to disconnect and to not be on devices or anything of that nature. Um, you see this photo has lavender in it. You can use fresh lavender. You can use lavender oil. I like to use a lot of essential oils. I don't know if anybody knows Dr. Cole. He used to have a space on Central Avenue on the borderline of East Orange and North, and always come to Weequahic Park Association meetings. And, you know, legend says that lavender oils, especially therapeutic high grade lavender oil, is so beneficial that if a person is actively in cardiac arrest, that they can use lavender to help slow that process so that they can get to the hospital in a better state than they might otherwise. So lavender can be, you know, in those situations, rubbed on the heart, breathe in deeply, and it's beneficial at any time to just de-stress and to help bring some clarity to your mind and calm to your senses. So another underappreciated, I think overlooked aspect that's important to winter wellness is still getting fresh air and still getting exposure to sunshine. Now, obviously, we are in the process of at this present moment still losing sunlight. So that means taking some time to, you know, trying to at least get some exposure to the outdoors during the daytime or the earlier parts of the day. And that's probably when it's going to be warmest too, just in terms of being realistic. I'm not a person who believes the winter time is the best time to start any kind of vigorous lifestyle changes or physical activity. Wintertime is actually for slowing down and downshifting. That doesn't mean not moving at all, but it does mean not thinking that your body is supposed to move at the same pace in the winter as it is in the summer. That's not what the body is designed to do. Our bodies are designed to mimic the seasons. And so you still want to have some movement, you know, if it's a gentle walk or if it's some indoor stretching or exercises, which we'll get into in a future slide. But fresh air is extremely important. Some people never open their windows. If you have a day that the temperature is pretty comfortable, you want to allow your house to be able to exchange out that stale air where these various different germs and allergens and things of that nature are staying concentrated. An air purifier can definitely help indoors, but fresh air, sunshine, and moonlight are things that are beneficial to your well-being and your indoor home quality. So I'm going to take a little second here to demonstrate a couple of exercises and breathing techniques after I go through this slide, and people can do it with me for a minute or so. But these are a few different things you can do indoors. I mean, you can find YouTube videos, different things. I personally don't have anything out yet, even though I intend to next year. You know, this is what I'm talking about as far as movement, maybe doing some gentle stretching and doing some breathing exercises. Breathing through your nose is far more beneficial and calming than breathing through the mouth. Broadly speaking, breathing exercises in the tradition of yoga are called pranayama. Breathing exercises are not exclusive to the yogic tradition, so that's why I say in the tradition of yoga, that's the terminology that is used, it's pranayama. And you see some of the benefits of doing breathing exercises are it can improve respiratory issues, and it can assist in weight loss. It says the thyroid region and a proper flow of prana goes through. These different terminologies are like energy points or energy centers within the body. It helps to speed up your metabolism. It helps lose weight. Anti-aging and glowing skin, improve your immune system through the lymphatic system, central nervous system in the brain. That's like anxiety and different things of that nature, or anti-anxiety, cardiovascular health, and hormone balancing. So I'm going to stop the share here and back up and do a couple of different exercises that people can do with me. You can see me, right? My camera still, everybody can see me?
Yes.
So, let me see if I can. So I'm just going to show you where I have my hands. I have my hands on my knees like this. This is a pose you can do seated on the floor. You could do it in a chair, and you could do it in a tabletop position, which means on your hands and knees. It's called cat-cow pose. So I'm just going to do it from this angle just so you can see what I'm doing. But inhale, that's raising the heart, and then exhale, rounding the spine. So I'm going to lift it back up so you can see me from this angle do it. So we're inhaling, open the heart, and raise the chin. Exhaling, rounding the spine and tucking the chin. And the thing about yoga is it's the unison of breath and movement. So you want to coordinate the breath with the movement, but you also want to coordinate the pace of the movement with the pace of the breath. So you're inhaling slowly, deeply, exhaling slowly, completely. So I usually open up my class with exercises, gentle exercises like this, and I'll have people go through this maybe for a minute or 5 rounds of that exercise. So meaning 5 inhales and 5 exhales at their own pace, because you might feel in your body that you need to breathe a certain rate or move at a certain pace, and somebody else might feel something different. So I usually demonstrate it first, and then I'll tell people, okay, do it 5 more times at your own pace. But at any point in time, you can do that. I mean, even if you're at a light in traffic and you feel tightness in your shoulders or anything like that, that's something that can be done.
Nicole, what's that position called?
It's called cat-cow.
Cat. Okay.
So it's like this position is the cow pose, and then this position is the cat pose. Yeah. But usually it's done together, so that's why it's just called cat-cow.
I'm gonna steal that for all my when I'm on Zoom fatigue.
Yeah, definitely. It's all different kinds of things people need, especially because that stuff. Whoa, I'm glad that I don't have like a full-time job where I have to do that every day, because it can be draining to do that on a regular basis, and everybody has to handle their professional responsibilities. So some people have to be on it a lot. The next exercise I wanted to go through is a pranayama. It's a breathing exercise. This is called alternate nostril breathing. I'm not an expert in pranayama, but every yoga teacher gets a little bit of education in it. Some yoga classes that tend to incorporate a lot of pranayama the style like that I know of is Kundalini yoga. They tend to do a whole lot of breathing exercises. Like if you look at the practice, you might think it's simple, but it's more complicated than you think. So you're supposed to, the hand placement is supposed to be important as far as what they call mudras, but for the purposes of this, do what feels natural to you to start, because it's better to do something than nothing. So usually your two fingers are supposed to be like at your third eye. You take your thumb and you put it on I have it on my right nostril. Then I still have these two fingers left, and I'm inhaling through my left nostril, holding it at the top, closing the left nostril with the pinky and ring finger, and exhaling through my right nostril, then inhaling through the right nostril, closing that with the thumb, releasing the left nostril, and exhaling through the left nostril. So then you inhale on the left side, hold it, exhale on the right side. So the fingers can be complicated, but for the purposes of just starting it and just getting your body used to doing some kind of breathing exercises, this stuff also helps with the immune system and the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight kind of stuff. I would just use whatever fingers felt natural. So a lot of times I just use my thumb, hold it, and I might do that 3 to 5 times. So it's a great thing. One of my classmates from one of my programs I was in, somebody just gave it to him this week, and he actually texted me yesterday like, "Oh my God, this thing works. Somebody gave me this thing. Do you know anything about this?" And I'm like, "I know a little bit, but it does work." So anyway, let me go back and finish this presentation, and then we can do some questions. So another thing, warming foods. Some of the other things I mentioned with the tea, as far as ingredients, like you can use ginger and garlic and cooking and stuff like that, and that stuff is warming. Even what I meant to say on the tea slide is like, even people, as long as you don't have any health issues, restricting your sugar intake, you can even warm up apple cider and add in some fresh cinnamon or a cinnamon stick. And that's also another warming drink. But homemade soups and stews are best. It's best to prepare your own food just because you know what's in it. And some of the stuff you get in stores especially have so much salt in it because it's like a preservative, and the ingredients may not be that high quality. So in order for it to taste good, they have to add all that salt in there. But when you would cook at home, you would never really be able to eat anything or find anything to be edible that has as much salt as much of the things you find in the store. But soups and stews, I even love, even though I can't make this from scratch, I sometimes go out and have ramen. All of these things, the things when you eat in and your nose is running at the same time, it may not be the most comfortable, but that probably means it's kind of like clearing you out and clearing mucus out of your system and different things of that nature. So I just encourage people to have a lot of warming foods in the form of soups and stews. You can get a lot of different vegetables and nutrients in at one time. And that's why it's always a great thing to have. Like I said, homemade is best. Vegetables that are in season are best. That means more than likely that they didn't have to travel too far, which means that the nutrients are still probably high. And if you can find anything that's grown anywhere remotely locally, and when I say locally, I don't just mean like the state of New Jersey, I mean the region. So something from Virginia might be better than something from California, or anything of that nature. So, And then one of the last things is, definitely consult your physician, but I believe taking a probiotic is something that most people will benefit from, and that they very rarely get recommendations to do. They help your body digest food, keeps back bad bacteria from getting out of control and making you sick. It creates vitamins in the body. It helps support the cells that line your gut to prevent bad bacteria that you may have consumed through your food or drinks from entering your blood. It breaks down and absorbs medication. So the gut is where our immune system is. And a lot of times when you take antibiotics, they kill all the bacteria, or a lot of the bacteria, not all, but a lot of the bacteria that is in your gut, and it doesn't discriminate on what's good bacteria versus bad bacteria. So especially if you've ever taken any antibiotics, getting on a probiotic regimen afterwards can be important, but just in general, especially for people who have any issues that I mentioned previously. So thank you so much. And that's my time. Nicole Scott-Harris. Please let me know if you have any questions.
I have a quick question. You had the 2 probiotics up there. Are those 2 that you
I'm not
recommend to take?
recommending any brands. I just pulled 2 different ones because I wanted to show that there are some that are specifically for women. That's why I put up different ones. I will tell you generally though, what I hear about probiotics are the ones that are require refrigeration are supposed to be the highest quality ones. I know somebody whose judgment I trust, who is a colon cancer survivor, who takes a probiotic by Young Living, which is not something buying a store. You might want to mute yourself because I'm previewing. You might want to mute yourself. But yes, so probiotic by Young Living, and then just locally, if you know any health food stores, whether that's the one on South Orange Avenue and South 10th Street, Corona Foods, or and that's in North or South Orange Avenue, or Olive May on Main Street in East Orange. Going there, I would talk to them like, what's the best probiotic, or what's the probiotic you recommend, because those stores tend to be selective about the products that they want to carry. But in general, I would say some is better than none. One that's not refrigerated is better than nothing at all. And yeah, if you wanted to find out the best one for you, I would go into like a health food store.
Nicole, would you one of the things I know when I moved to the US, someone mentioned to me is that I like that lavender, and we were able to maintain lavender, particularly where people live in apartment buildings, do little pots, and those live even through the winter. So I'm jazzed that you're talking about that, because there's nothing more than you have your little pot of lavender. It really does keep the a nice, of course, scent to the space if it's a small space, but it always gives it a little buzz of life.
Yeah, and aromatherapy is a respected medicinal discipline in other countries that we just don't have a lot of respect for here in our traditional healthcare system. But high grade therapeutic aromatherapy is prescribed in France, and I'm sure in places like India, or even on the continent, that people will say, okay, something is wrong with you. If you go to a medicine man or a medicine woman, they're going to give you something like, here, add this. It might be through tea, but it could be through a bath. And so people have aromatherapy all different kinds of ways. And then essential oils, you can buy products that have, long as it's like real ingredients, like a body oil with essential oils in it, or I use a diffuser in my house too. So I diffuse a lavender oil just all different kinds of oils I diffuse in my house, but I definitely diffuse lavender oil, and I usually use it a lot in my classes, in my yoga classes.
Yeah, so I'm from the Caribbean, so you're preaching to the choir because we do that all the time. And one of the things we even do is doing the high eucalyptus oil on the fabric dryer sheets, the non-scented one. You put a little eucalyptus oil on it and put it on your pillow, in your pillow casing, and that is very helpful when you get congested and just for that breathing. At least that's what we do.
Yep. Mother weight. We all know what we're supposed to be doing. And the same thing you can do with the lavender with those sheets. If you have an insomnia or any issues with falling asleep, you can do the same thing with the lavender oil.
One quick question. Is there something easy and quick to do when you're suffering from anxiety? And the yoga pose or something you can do?
Well, the breathing exercises help. That stuff I just gave you is definitely both of them.
You just gave us?
Both
Okay.
of them.
All right.
Anytime,
Okay.
at any point, that's what I was saying. Like if you even in traffic and you just like, if these people don't move out of my house, you might want to just do a couple of
Cat-cow. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
or do the alternate nostril.
Okay.
All of it helps. And also essential oils. If you have a little tiny bottle of essential oil, you keep it inside your console in your car. You can take that too.
Okay. Yeah.
Smell on it.
You know which one I
Sounds
love?
like
I love geranium. I keep it in my pocketbook.
Geranium?
I don't know a lot about geranium, but it is good for bone health because I had a surgery in a foot. I fractured my heel in July 2020, so I'm still in recovery. And when I was looking up essential oils and herbs that was good for bone health, geranium came up. So I started applying it to the soles of my feet because that's like where like the pores are like the largest in your body. So anything you apply to your soles of your feet is like it has good absorption. And I try to all different kind of holistic remedies to help heal my injuries, things I didn't tell my surgeon or whatever, but he just kept telling me all of my x-rays looked excellent. So somebody said it's an excellent woman's oil.
Yes. Okay, that's Dina. Oh, Dina know all about them essential oils. Hey there, Dina Corbin.
Hey, Renata Whitaker.
All right.
Is there anything more you can say about the alternate breathing method? It feels to me like it's more relaxing than using both. How does that work?
That's just one breathing technique like that I showed you, that alternate nostril breathing. Like there's something called breath of fire that you do, like so it's like you breathe in one deep breath and that's one I like to do sometimes before I meditate. But it's when I tell you like pranayama is its own area of like yoga discipline. Like some people's yoga practice is centrally around pranayama or mudras and how you hold your hand. It's different things like that. Like this is henna on my hands. I don't have no permanent tattoos, but yeah, so you can do, it's so many different directions. You can go with the breathing techniques. That's just one of them, Carla, the alternate breathing. So like I said, if you are interested in that, specifically, and that resonates for you, I would say probably look at some short Kundalini videos just to start Kundalini yoga. I'll write it inside the chat. But yeah, Kundalini, the couple of times I've taken it, it is challenging. It is challenging. That's why I said, look up a short video on YouTube, maybe find like a 10-minute thing to start, and little by little, just add on.
Thank you.
A lot of good information this morning. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yeah,
asking.
yes, yes. I'm gonna share those anxiety things with my granddaughter. She told me she has developed anxiety since she's gone off to school. So that's why I was asking her.
It's a natural response. Everybody has some kind of anxiety about something. It's just about knowing how to properly cope with it and manage it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 'Cause I was like, "What's wrong?" She had this look of panic. What's wrong? What's happening? She's like, "Grandma, I'm having anxiety." Don't do that with me. Grandma's not used to that. That's something new.
She said,
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Great presentation.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I have a comment. Let me turn my camera on. I don't know what y'all going to see in my background because it's okay. But oh, thank you so much, Nicole. As a holistic practitioner and naturalist myself, I resonate with everything that you said. It was an excellent presentation, and I look forward to meeting you. I'm going to email you. Could you put your contact information back in the chat or in the screen so that I can, contact you? But I really like what you said about comfort foods, right? Sometimes we think of comfort foods as or warming foods that are weight gaining, right? We don't think of them as a need for our body to, calm down and cool down, and a good part of our winter wellness. We don't think of sometimes food, like when you're talking about the soups and the stews, and when you're eating food and it's your nose is running, we don't think of those kind of things. So it was an excellent presentation. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, and there's nothing like a good bowl of hot soup or stew in the winter, especially on a day like today.
Girl.
Especially on a day today. Yes.
I see what's that soup place on Elizabeth Avenue? They can't even keep no soup. You go there at 2:30, the gate is down.
Have you tried the one on West Market, right up off Central Avenue?
No, I haven't.
Try them. Because
Okay.
if they're closed, that's where I go over there. It's different, but if you want that soup, that's a good place too.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Again, great presentation, a lot of great information this morning that we all can use. And I'm gonna tell my granddaughter when I get there Monday, okay, we got 2 exercises I can teach you for when you have that moment, and get her some essential oils. So our next month meeting is Dina Corbin, Natural Ground 1. Next month, January 15th, 10 to 11:30. So Dina will be our presenter then. Please make sure that you spread the word so we can have Dina's information as well. Is there anyone who you want to make your announcement again about? Is it Tuesday night you said, Nicole?
Oh yeah, Tuesday night I'm doing an all women's. Let me actually see if I can drop it in this thing. But I'm doing an all women's yoga class in Elizabeth. This thing actually says on East Grand Street, 1180 East Grand Street in Elizabeth at 6:30. The doors open. The class starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20.22. And
if you send us
that's the flyer I just put in there, and then I'm also going to actually put the exact link to the Eventbrite in there too, because that's where you purchase it at, is on Eventbrite. I only actually, it says 8 tickets. I got 5 tickets left, so that's a flyer I did last night, and a couple of people purchased last night, so good. But yeah, so it's all women, and it's going to be a yoga class. I got the physical therapist and yoga teacher there. She's going to be doing a crystal bowl, sound bowl session at the end of the yoga class, like 20 minutes. And then we're going to have some tea, and there's another person I'm bringing in, a small business owner from Pea Shoots in East Orange, to sell some food, because we're going to be concluding around dinner time, and I don't want people to feel rushed to leave. So I have her coming in to do some vegetarian quesadillas, and She makes some really nice, flavorful food. I don't know if you heard of this company, Pea Shoots. So she's out of East Orange and she grows microgreens out of her house. So she's growing microgreens and she's selling them to people, doing deliveries and all different kinds. I just met her last month at the Double Dutch tournament that I was working for the after program. But yeah, she's doing amazing things, and a lot of people getting, you know, very wealthy and healthy off of growing these microgreens. And I've seen some YouTube videos of people in Canada that selling them to restaurants and making all different kind of money, and packed with nutrients. And it's a little bit easier to eat, like for people who not really vegetable people, because it's so small and you only got to eat like a very small quantity to get good benefits.
Benefits? Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, microgreens are expensive.
Yeah, but she has them at her house, so
Yeah.
I don't know how much she's charging, but that's her company, Pea Shoots.
Arrow Farms has microgreens. Wow. Down in the
Iron.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, all right, Miss Liz.
I'm just talking and the things I don't want. Thank everyone for coming out. We had a great presentation. Everyone have a great day. Enjoy the holidays. Be safe, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Renata, would you give us a moment?
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.
All right, bow y'all big heads. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. Amen.
Ashe.
Amen. Be safe. Thank
And
you.
next meeting January 15th. Be there or
Yes,
be square.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Miss Liz and Miss Carla and stuff, I will be out of office from next Tuesday until January 6th. So if you send an email, my email will tell you that, but I'm just giving you.
Okay, well, I'm going to, can you stay on for a minute then, doctor? Because I have a quick question for you.
All right, no problem.
Have a nice vacation, Dr. A.
Thank you, thank you. I feel like this year I really need it. I'm at that point.
Where we going?
We're going to the Emerald Coast.
Where is that?
Boy. Oh.
And how come I didn't get no invite?
It's me and the husband that are going to the
It's
Emerald
always
Coast.
you and the husband. You know what? Let me stop asking.
The Emerald Coast. Okay.
He says we have space. You have a one day invite because we have space.
Okay.
Thanks, husband.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
She
I'm
said
looking.
thanks. Yes.
So January is